a little over 100. So hopefully the rest of those who have registered will come on. I, Karen Sheik, President, call the League of Women Voters of Colorado Annual Meeting 2022 to order. Before we go any farther, I would like to introduce Lieutenant Governor Diane Primavera, who will offer an official welcome to our 2022 annual meeting. Lieutenant Governor Primavera is a leading patient advocate, cancer survivor who has spent decades fighting for every Coloradan's access to quality, affordable health care. Beginning in 2006, she served 4 terms in the state legislature, where her bipartisan work promoted Colorado small businesses, lowered prescription drug costs, and expanded access to affordable health care. As the Lieutenant Governor, she leads 6 programs: the Office of Saving People Money on Health Care, the Office of E-Health Innovation, the Colorado Disability Funding Commission and Disability Policy, the Colorado Commission of Indian Affairs, Serve Colorado, and Aerospace and Defense. She has 2 adult daughters and 3 beautiful grandchildren. She is also, you might be interested to know, an avid dancer. We are extremely grateful that she's with us tonight. Lieutenant Governor Primavera.
Well, thank you. I hope you can hear me and everybody's warm. I just wanted to say good evening to all of you. You know, it's hard to believe, but a little over 3 years ago, Governor Polis and I were spending our days crisscrossing Colorado, talking about our vision for solving the problems that folks were facing at the time. And one of the responses that we often got on the campaign trail was, it sounds like you guys want to accomplish a lot. Can you really do all that? Well, we got right to work. We put the needs of Coloradoans above all else. And I'm proud to say that we're delivering serious progress on what we promised. We've worked hard to make daily life more affordable for Coloradoans, whether that means making preschool and full-day kindergarten free, cutting taxes for hardworking families and small businesses, or reducing healthcare costs, which is the issue that I've worked on most closely myself. And I know from personal experience that you don't have anything if you don't have your health. Almost 34 years ago, I was a working mom living in Arvada when I was diagnosed with breast cancer and told that I had 5 years to live. During that year, I lost my job, and while putting so much energy into figuring out how to get myself well, I also had to figure out how to support my 2 little daughters. Over the last 2 years, so many Coloradoans have dealt with that same feeling of having their world turned upside down and the fear that comes from the uncertainty. So every day, Governor Polis and I go to work with the health, safety, and economic security of all Coloradoans as our #1 goal. And I'm proud of how Colorado has weathered this pandemic. We've weathered it really well, and now our economy is recovering faster than most states. I'm proud that we've stood against hatred and we've stood up for freedoms like a person's right to an abortion. And I'm proud that Colorado is the gold standard in safe, accessible elections, and we're only making our elections stronger. There's still a lot of work left to do, and the next election will determine whether we keep moving Colorado forward or if we veer off in a new chaotic direction. I think we all know that elections matter, people's votes matter, women's votes matter, and leadership matters. Seeing our governor in action over the past 3 years, he's the strong, proven leader that we need to make sure Colorado is a better home for our kids and our grandkids. There's hard work ahead, and our governor and I are ready, and we need all of your help. Women of Colorado will decide this election. So it's up to us, League of Women Voters. With your commitment, passion, and energy, I know that we will win. So I really appreciate you asking me to speak tonight.
Well, thank you, Lieutenant Governor Primavera. We very much appreciate your time this evening, just as we've appreciated your leadership in public service that has so benefited Coloradans for so many years. And we look forward to continuing to work with you.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too. Thank you. Now, I'd like our operations manager, Laura Baker, to go over with you some rules and notices that we might use to navigate this Zoom annual meeting smoothly. Laura? Is Laura muted by chance?
Yes, she is.
Okay.
But here she comes.
There she is.
Hi, everybody. So this meeting will be recorded. Please edit your Zoom name to include your local league. And then I'm sure most of you know this, but to access the chat function, it's on the bottom and it says chat. You might have to click the three buttons, the three dots, which is the ellipses, to get to more. And so if you want to speak during the meeting, type a capital letter R in the chat box to be recognized, or you can use the Zoom reaction to raise your hand. And then after Barb verbally recognizes you, you may unmute yourself. Then please introduce yourself using your name and tell us what league you're with. And then just a quick reminder that only delegates may actually vote. Voting will occur by Zoom poll, as we did last year. Observers should just ignore and close the poll because you can't vote. Motions and seconds should both be made verbally as well as in the chat box, just for the sake of posterity and record keeping. Now back to you, Karen.
Thanks, Laura.
13.
It is with great pleasure that I extend a personal welcome to each of you this evening. We are pleased to have, as I mentioned earlier, over 100 participants registered from all across our beautiful state. I also want you to know that your presence over the next 2 days is very much appreciated. This July, I will be stepping out of the presidency and, with membership approval, moving into another board position. I want you to know that these past 2 years have been filled with challenges, an amazing amount of learning, and lots of opportunities for growth. Best of all, though, are the wonderful people that I have met, have worked with, have gotten to know, and who I now consider friends, even though we have not met yet in person. Such are the wonders of technology. We've accomplished a lot during my tenure as president. I certainly feel privileged to have been given an opportunity to play a role in these accomplishments. I will be attending the convention in June, and I hope to meet with many of you in person so that I can shake your hand or perhaps give you a hug. And thank you for your wonderful support. And now on to our annual meeting. At this time, I would like to acknowledge not only your current board members, but others who are working on your behalf. State board members include Barb Winery, who is our vice president. Barb is the one that opened our social hour. Irene Tynes, secretary. Bonnie Seals, treasurer. Lena Brown, special projects. Sharon Davis, JEDI. Connie Fox, nominating committee. Chris Humphreys, voter services. Tony Larson, action and advocacy. Beth Malmskog, redistricting. And Venice Miller, civics education. Other league members working on our behalf include Kath Perrone, who is our amazing Vote 411 coordinator. Ruth Nuremberg, Margie Gray, and Vicki McLean, who spent many, many hours working on the nominating committee this year. Liz Black, Ann Norwood, and Bobby Heisterkamp, investments committee. Jean McGuire, Jackie Hurdle, Nicole Garland, Susanna Spalding, and Chris Humphreys, who have worked on the project grants committee. And then, of course, there is our staff. Andrea Wilkins, who is a staff lobbyist. Laura Baker, who just spoke with you, our operations manager. Beth Hendricks, of course, who is our executive director. And we are very excited to be able to welcome Lindsay George into the staff as development and communications manager. Lindsay will be starting work on Monday. I'm sure she's anxious to get to know each of you as well. So let's now find out if we have a quorum. We need 15 delegates and 7 local leagues represented in order to have a quorum. To give us the credentials report is Irene Tynes, our secretary. Irene?
Hello. Hi, can you hear me?
Can.
I am sitting here with lovely Laura. And let me tell you that this is an exciting part of this meeting, is counting up who's here. It's down to the wire. And what we have 45 total voting delegates right now. We have 9 LWVCO board delegates, and we have 36 local league delegates with 14 local leagues represented.
Wow, that's great.
I know. Oh, wait, let me just say this too, Karen. We have 25 observers also.
Right.
Everybody.
And Tony is now here too, you could add.
No, we got you, Tony. You're marked.
Thank you. I didn't want to be left out.
No, I didn't want you to be left out either.
Then we have a quorum.
Yes.
Great. Thank you, Irene. For parliamentarian, Jerry Cummins, who represents Arapahoe Douglas League and is, of course, one of our favorite statewide league members, she has agreed to serve in the role as parliamentarian. That individual keeps the discussion going and motions in order. So thank you, Jerry, for being willing to do that. We were able to recruit Ruth Nuremberg, Barb Winery, and Ann Thompson to be on the reading committee for the 2022 annual meeting. This committee will read the minutes of this annual meeting. They will edit them if necessary before they are filed. So I would like to thank you all for agreeing to serve and to help in this important role. Now, if you all would please open your annual meeting workbook to page 5, standing rules for the annual meeting. In addition to following these rules, I'm going to ask that we all maintain some flexibility and patience with our virtual platform, even though we've now, all of us have a year under our belts of participating in Zoom and virtual activities. There's always that little glitch that comes up. So be patient if that happens. The question now before the annual meeting is the approval of the standing rules for the annual meeting as printed on page 5 of the workbook. May I have a motion and a second to do so?
This is Bonnie Seals from the LWVCO board. I move to approve the standing rules for the 2022 annual meeting.
And this is Ruth Nuremberg in Pueblo, and I second.
All right. Beth is going to, Beth is going to share a screen. So let's vote. Do you approve the standing rules for the 2022 annual meeting?
I can't.
Hi, we are having technical difficulties. Bear with us, please.
Right away.
Karen, you have 2 hands up.
All right. Give me a minute to see who they are. Chris? Chris, you're on mute.
Maybe they're just voting.
Oh, are we all just voting?
We're voting.
Well, Beth is trying to get a survey to display so that we can vote, and it makes it for much easier tabulation. So let's give her just let's give staff just a moment to be able to do that. It is my hope that this little glitch is the only one that we encounter.
Me too.
It's always best to do it the other way first.
And there's a question in the chat from Pat Berger.
Okay. I don't think so, because I think she's been notified, I believe. I think everybody was asked before their names were put in were nominated to be on the reading committee.